Hello, Shounak. Good to see you. How are you?
Hi Zaya. I'm doing okay. How about you?
Doing very well, and congratulations on your transition to industry.
Thank you. It was a really good help from Cheeky scientists and everyone there, and I'm forever grateful for that help, for this guidance, and everyone in the group who has been always helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, maybe you could just start by introducing yourself and the position and company you're with now.
So I'm Shounak Datta, and I started my PhD in Auburn University in chemical engineering. And after graduating from there in 2019, I started doing postdoc in healthcare in University of Florida, particularly with Shands Hospital. And since this year, January, I have been working as AI data scientist with Change Healthcare Company.
Hmm. Well, congratulations, and thanks for letting us have an insight into where you are now. I know it wasn't an easy transition. It was a process. You had a lot of challenges, and we have a lot of PhDs who are watching, who are stuck currently trying to transition. So maybe you can just rewind and talk about what were the biggest challenges you faced. What was your darkest hour, so to speak, as far as mindset challenges, not knowing how to put a resume together, LinkedIn. Tell us a little bit about that.
So thanks for asking that because many people don't ask that question. What was the dark period in this whole thing? And I think it's really
Mm.
important to talk about that because it is real. And truth to be told, after getting my intention was not to get into postdoc. So before even finishing PhD, I have been for a year trying to find a job. The problem in that period was the type of CV I was using. It was more, I think, advice from faculty or people in academia or people are trying to get into academia. So it was like heavy 5 page uh, curriculum rather than a resume, which had information about the presentations I did, the papers I wrote,
Mm.
the projects I've been doing. So it was a ton of information there. And looking back today on on that resume, which I still have on me because I like to see the progress I made throughout the time, it's like whenever I see that, I sometimes feel like, what was I thinking? So yeah, so that period of time, I was looking at that situation, like why I was getting more academia-based interest rather than industrial-based interest, and now it looks like definitely networking was a big role to play, and not being able to brand myself, not having the idea that I should brand myself in LinkedIn and sell myself as a brand rather than trying to fit into something. Those lacking those information actually hurted me a lot during that time. Moving forward, I was looking into Cheeky and this time, particularly from the Facebook page and the videos. But then I started thinking, after getting into the postdoc, I was like, something is going wrong here. And although I started the postdoc and I loved what I was doing during my postdoc, I said, I need to be into an industrial setup. And I said, like, okay, let's give it a try, the cheeky scientist. And I tried to work on my resume, my LinkedIn profile, and it has been a long time. Like it took me almost a year after joining the association to land this job. So the darkest moments, I would say, sometimes you feel like, hey, I'm doing everything that following the module, doing everything, not taking shortcuts. So what's going wrong? I'm networking, which is not my forte because I am really bad at keeping online connection alive for a long time.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, I'm really good at initiating that. After 3 or 4 messages, it starts to dry up, and that's
Okay.
something I'm still working on. Uh, I found some tricks which I'll talk about later, how I try to keep those things alive time to time.
Mm.
So those were some of the dark moments where I was feeling, hey, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but still not working. And
Yes.
some of the times, what was happening, given I need a visa requirement here, and I would definitely like to be sponsored by the company, I was getting this question like, "Do you have this?" And I was saying no, and even like with the first phone interview, it was like, you know what, given the situation and COVID and everything, we cannot actually, we're not sure when we start to
Yes.
hire people and sponsor H1B again. So 10 to 20 of my interviews started ending like that. And that particularly started to become quite worrisome and also depressing, thinking, what is actually going to be a next step for me?
Yes. So if I can jump in,
Sure.
and I think that's a good insight on the struggles you had, especially as an international PhD, only having other lifetime academics to give you advice. You joined the association.
Mhm.
What changed? What helped you in terms of your resume? What helped you in terms of how did the private group help you? The visa, what helped? What changed? What got you hired?
Mhm. The first thing that definitely helped is redoing the resume, and based on that, redoing the LinkedIn. I started seeing I was getting more attention from the recruiters, even if I'm not getting the job, or even if it's not going like one step forward, but they were connecting with me. There had tons of recruiters who were sending requests like, "Hey, we can connect and we can talk," and that created a visibility for me. So definitely that helps. Second is one informal interview. One like I went through a few informal interview with cheeky scientists, and some of them, particularly Anne and Rachel, uh, there was many more, and definitely they helped me understand what's the importance of having a resume that actually resonates with the LinkedIn profile. So that was one of the biggest thing missing. So even when I did everything, my profile was looking like I am ready to move into tons of different directions, although my resume was more towards data science that actually matches my skills. So I tried, and then I went back and I tried to connect with data scientists from many companies without
Yeah.
any reason. I just connected with them. I said, hey, you're a data scientist. I'm interested in being a data scientist. I want to learn from your experience. And I just
Yes.
started conversations like that. So many people started connected with me when I took that first step saying, I want to know about your experience. And that is also some tricks I learned from those informal interviews I was having with all these chickies who were really helpful. They took the time. We went through all this process and went through all my material. Also,
Yes.
they also helped me a lot going through practicing for video interviews, particularly.
Yes.
Because yeah, it was COVID time when I started to look for the jobs again, and it became quite imperative that if you are not figuring out how to do these virtual interviews, you are doomed pretty much. So,
Yes.
I'm forever like in like really big debt for everyone who found this time, half an hour time to go through my preparation for the first and second and technical interviews, and that actually helped me a lot moving on the
Perfect.
process.
Thank you so much, Shounak. Well, I think you mapped it out very well. The challenges, they're in line with what a lot of PhDs are struggling with, and how the association, it sounds like comprehensively helped you get hired.
Sure.
Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations on transitioning. And we look forward to watching your continued career success. Thank you.
Sure.